threes and Massmere knocks down their shots from the outside, this is going to force this New England Storm team to come out and defend them a little bit more on the perimeter. So I think Massmere needs to hit their shots. They need to continue to run their stuff on the offensive end and not turn the ball over. They went through a spell in that first half when they had 4 or 5 turnovers in a row. And the problem was, it wasn't just a turnover, it was a turnover on a pass that was going to a guy who was wide open out of the basket. I mean, those were layups that they didn't even get a chance to take because they were throwing the ball out of bounds. And I think on the flip side, when you're looking at New England Storm, I think they gotta push the tempo a little bit, and I think they need to look to get the ball inside. They've got more size than this Massmere team, and I think they're a little bit quicker, and they've looked best when they pushed the ball up the court and tried to get layups in transition, or in the offensive set when they've gone down low and kicked it back out to their shooters.
Well, Massmere has been without Stephen Gagne. Nice ball movement comes out to Ryan, and Eric Ryan finds the bottom of the net. Gagne being tended to by the trainer. Quick back up court, Garibaldi the three. The lead has changed hands yet again. It's 31-30, but part of that, I think, lull we saw from Massmere was adjusting to life without Gagne, who went out with that injury, lower leg injury it looked like. Little runner, and the layup is good from Dylan Reno. He has 7 points, and back out on top is Massmere. This one turned to get to a good old-fashioned slugfest. Good read by Nigro. He's off to the races and makes the layup.
Sal Academy Ram product right there. My dad went to school there, so I figured I'd give it a shout.
One of your big rivals when you were in high school, I would think.
That's right, Classical and LaSalle. You're right about that.
So did your dad wear like a purple shirt under his LaSalle jacket to those games?
I don't think he will wear purple in general.
Okay.
But no, he's one of those who refuses to wear any form of an emblem for a team he supports. Does that make any sense?
It does. Yeah, I understand. Garibaldi, the 3-ball on the way, no good. And good effort there by Bolter to maintain his poise. Was under pressure from Marinder. Nigro brings it back up court.
Now take a look at this Massmere Elite offense. They've got 5 guys on the perimeter, and what this is doing is forcing the New England Storm, their big players, to come out and defend at the 3-point line, which is allowing some of these Massmere guards to get to the rim because it spreads out the defense.
Bolter, the 3-pointer. Again, you mentioned that quick release. He now has 14 points. The lead is back to 6.
It almost looks like a traditional set shot. He really catches that ball low, but he's able to get the shot off so quickly, and he is 6'3" shooting that basketball. And he was identified by his coach as one of the college prospects on this 10th grade Massmere Elite team.
18 points for Garibaldi after that 3. Pulls the Storm back within 3, and with a timeout, will take one too. 37-34, second half action, the grade 10 championships of the AAU Super Regional. Welcome back, folks. Great to have you with us inside the Massmere courts in Foxborough, Massachusetts for our entire Cox Sports team and my broadcast partner, Christina Battistini. I'm Mike Rubin. It looked like the Massmere Elite squad just turned it over, and the New England Storm will have a chance to cut into what is right now a 3-point deficit. We've seen the lead change hands 5 or 6 times. Nice look by Garibaldi is picked off by Eric Ryan. The dish back for Nigro. Nigro looks to his left, finds Dylan Reno. Reno underneath, it's well read by the defense. Galloway Burke finds the ball into his hands, ahead for Davis. Davis drives, good transition defense, dishes back. Galloway Burke from the corner, no good. The corner of the free throw line, I should say. Nigro, the rebound, and now he'll slow things up. Works, nice cross behind the back dribble, dishes to the corner for Ryan, back to Nigro. He looks right, finds Reno. Reno keeps it moving for now for Oftring, and now back around for Nigro as they look to reverse it. He finds it back up top for Oftring, and now back to Reno. Bounce pass taken by Nigro in transition. Nice look off the glass and in. Good patience there.
Yeah, nice read as well by Nigro. He came off an away screen, and rather than coming to the ball, he decided to curl to the basket because he read that his defender got hung up on that screen. And not only did he make a good defensive read, but he also liked that little baby hook to finish it on a bigger guy down low.
Davis, great look for Marinder, who finishes. He has his first field goal of the game, keeps it a 3-point game.
Now the New England Storm, on their first defensive possession, they stayed up and pressed, and they were able to turn over Master Premier Elite. But on that last make, they did not stay up, so I'm wondering if that was just an individual call from the bench on that one possession, or if the Storm, if they're only going to press on a dead ball situation.
Coach Garibaldi explaining to Connor Marinder why that was a blocking foul.
I didn't see that. Could you?
Oh, well, you know, he said it would be easier for me to demonstrate it, but he said you need to set your feet and don't do this, and then proceeded to do a little bit of a dance, which is not entirely.
That's part of coaching.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think he was showing them exactly what had gone wrong and why it was a block, because I think, you know, he looked around Marinder, I think, saying, well, you know, I thought I had good possession.
I've had games as a coach where the next day I'm sore. I mean, that might be an indictment about in terms of how much I actually work out now, but like sometimes you get so worked up on the sideline.
Take by Davis. He has 10, 6 of them coming from the free throw line, but made it look easy there. Great speed to the hole.
Yeah, I think this New England Storm team, they're bigger physically, they're more athletic, and right now they're not playing to their strengths because they're sitting back in a half-court man-to-man defense. I think if they get up and press, and they look to utilize their big guys a little bit more, they could probably stretch out this game.
Ball played to the corner. Jumper from about 12 is no good. Rebound Ryan, and now here comes Reno. We'll play it for Bolter. Now over for Reno. And there's a foul off the ball. I think it's against Marinder, but don't quote me on that. It might be against Daly.
Well, Ryan Bolter.
Yeah, it's Daly.
A lot of times, you know, Master Premiers, they're going into a pass and screen away, 5-out offense. But they have the option, rather than come off that screen away, frequently they'll go backdoor and slip that screen. And they're open a lot on that backdoor cut because you don't see it a lot at the high school level. That's kind of a Princeton offense, motion offense kind of movement. And I like the fact that these kids, when they're 15, 16 years old, already have the know-how in terms of reading the defense and going backdoor when their defense overplays on the screen.
Another foul on Daly. Keeps the ball in the possession of Mass Premier, who's up 5. Over the ball swung to Bolter, and he buries the 3. That's his 5th 3-ball of the game. He has 17. The lead is back to 8. Left-handed jumper, no good. Rebound down the other end was Bolter, and now Nigro will work right to left.
That was a set play for Bolter because he was underneath the rim and he had the choice of coming off either a double screen or a single screen. He came off that single screen, ended up being open, but he does a good job of being on balance. And how about that shot right there?
Almost get it to fall, tries to get his own rebound, hustling after it Daly, but off the fingertips of Cameron Seeley, hometown product. He's playing right here in Foxborough for the Warriors. It's a 46-38. Black and silver of a New England Storm moving the ball left to right, down 8. They led this game a couple of times, folks. They were down 10 early. It's Kareem Davis. Lowell product, bounce pass underneath. Nice turn by Galloway Burke, and he has 8.
I think that's exactly what New England Storm needs to do in their half-court set offense. They should get the ball on every single possession, at least one touch down low to their big guys. That doesn't mean the big guy has to shoot it every time.
Stripped by Davis, and Reno fouls him. Not a bad foul, just the second team foul, and probably denied Davis what would have been an easy 2. Davis has great hands.
Very quick, anticipates well, really good defender. He's a guy that I'd have playing 90 feet of defense the entire game.
Little hook, no good. Rebound tracked down by Dan Robert underneath as white and blue work it up court. Nigro running the point again. Stephen Gagne of Bishop Fian, their starting point guard, went out with an injury halfway through, or a few minutes into the first half. Mass Premier struggled a little bit after that. Nigro put on the brakes, changed directions, and a foul. Much to the chagrin of, I want to say, Marinder. Nope, check that. It's going to go against Garibaldi.
There are two guys there. It was hard to tell. But I like Nigro's game. He's not flashy, but he gets the job done. He doesn't turn the ball over. He maintains his composure when he's being pressured. Always seems to make the right pass at the right time. He's a smart player.
Saw the LaSalle Academy Rams. Got a chance to call with our friend and colleague Scott Cordischi here on Cox Sports. Their Open State Championship game. They were the #2 seed, upset by 15-seeded Hendricken. It was just an absolute classic of a basketball game. Hendricken pulling off the upset in the first round of the Open Championship. Again, for those of you who are unfamiliar with the Rhode Island Championship, they do play the 3 divisional championships and then have an Open Championship with the top teams from all 3. And the first round was just everything you could have hoped for in terms of a March Madness as Marinder banks it home. 4-point game, slowly New England Storm crawling back in.
Well, Hendricken went on and upset quite a few teams in both tournaments, and I got a chance to see Hendricken play against Hope High School, and they gave them a run for their money. Unexpectedly, a team that traditionally is very talented, probably one of the best teams in Southern New England, and they haven't had the same level of players the last couple of years, but Coach Jamal Gomes seems to get it done in big games.
I'll tell you, watching Hope both last year in the Division I final and this year in the Open State Championship, they are a fun team to watch. Johnson Weir was probably one of the best players in the state this past year, but they came up short down the stretch. They ended up losing in the semifinals. That jump shot, wow. Bolter has buried another 3. He's doing his best impression of his teammate Tim Walsh, who's in the 11th grade program of this Mass Premier group. He had a great game earlier today, answering down the other end. The rebound tracked down by Ryan. In the earlier game today, Walsh hit 2, 4, 6 3-pointers. That right there was Bolter's 6-3.
I have a feeling we're going to see more from him with 6 minutes left in this game. Look at him moving without the basketball. That's how he gets freed up for a lot of his shots.
Threw it off the glass. Garibaldi tries to answer, in and out, ball swatted. Garibaldi right in front of us came down on his left foot, looked like he twisted his ankle.
It's either an ankle or it's a calf cramp. It's hard to say. He's walking just fine right now, though.
Yeah.
It's a quick recovery. I think he needs to stretch it out.
Well, if this were soccer, he'd be going for the spray. He's just going for some Gatorade. So, fortunately,
spray. What's this? You have to tell me this because I am a non-soccer person.
Oh, guys go down like they've been shot. They get sprayed, and the next thing you know, they're back up like nothing had happened. Meanwhile, their opponent's been yelling. I'm telling you, the most gullible officials in the world level, international level FIFA soccer referees. It never ceases to amaze me. That, and I think other countries have just incredible theater programs. Kareem Davis tried the 3, no good, over the head of Bowmiller, and the rebound tracked down by Hamill. He goes hard, and they're going to get a block on Nigro.
Yeah, it was hard to see from this vantage point because Nigro was literally swallowed up.
Yeah.
You couldn't even see him.
Marinder, boy, he took that one strong, didn't he?
Yes, he did. He was not to be denied. And again, Connor Marinder is 6'5".
Nigro gives up a few inches to him and came down hard. He's walking it off, but he's feeling it. And Marinder's free throw rolls around and out. Cameron Seeley will check back in for Eric Ryan for Mass Premier. Again, 7-point game, 5:43 to play here, second half. And Marinder, second free throw is up and back rims out, rebound, Bolter. He'll set it for Bowmiller. Bowmiller puts the ball in the hands of his high school teammate Dylan Reno. He feeds Bolter, who's got Hamill all over him, to the corner. Offering thought about shooting. Now Reno reverses it to Sealy. Back over for Offering. Now Reno with it on the elbow. He'll drive toward the baseline. Picked up there by Daly and lost the basketball. Quick hands there by Daly. Chance to cut into it as a 7-point lead. Daly on Bowmiller, or vice versa, as they switched around to the far side. Davis runs into Offering, was almost trapped, got the pass off underneath the turn. They're going to get an offensive foul on Marinder. You're nodding your head, Christina. You like the call?
Well, he did turn and throw his hips right at the defender. Was the defender there on a play like that? I'm not sure if it matters, because if you physically displace someone, whether they're in the perfect position or not, to me that's an offensive foul.
Back the other way comes Mass Premier. Under 5 minutes to play. And they led this one 10-0 and then found their way to a deficit, actually, as Davis goes hard, and he again is fouled. He'll go back to the free throw line, where he's a perfect 6 for 6 so far today. Foul called on Bowmiller, and that'll bring Davis to the free throw line.
And Kareem Davis, this is his first year playing for the New England Storm. Last year, he was a member of BABC, and for those of you who are familiar with local, regional, New England, national AAU basketball, that is a well-known AAU boys organization, and they have always the best talent in the Northeast.
Well, Davis has been perfect today. 8 for 8 from the free throw line. 12 points for him. It's a 5-point game. Certainly not over yet. A tough pass. Here comes Garibaldi in transition. Misses the layup. Davis there for the rebound, however. I think Dan Robert got back just enough to disrupt. There was no foul, certainly.
I think he was expecting somebody to go up, and I think he was expecting massive amounts of contact on that left-handed layup, but instead there was no contact, and that's why his shot was so hard off the back, because he thought he was going to get hit.
Garibaldi seems okay. That ball deflected out of bounds, last touch by Ryan. We saw Garibaldi go up and come down, maybe with a little bit of a foot cramp, but has checked back in. Seems to be showing no ill effects of that. Davis tries to work around Reno. Extended past the free throw line, short with the jumper. Ball loose underneath. Davis on the floor is Ryan, and he wants timeout. He'll get it with 3:54 left here, second half. We'll take one, too. 5-point game from Foxborough. Five-point game from here in Foxborough at the Mass Premier Courts Grade 10 Championship. Mass Premier working the ball up court. With the ball in the corner is Dan Robert. For Dylan Reno, he has the ball stripped. Garibaldi, good transition defense by Mass Premier. He'll pop it back out for Brett Daly. Daly on the baseline, back out, tough pass. Is picked off by Bolter, and he'll slow things up as he gets up court. Dishes back for Ryan. Ryan back to Bolter with a 5-point lead. Smart play there by Mass Premier, not pushing it. Nice look underneath. Offering for Bolter, but he couldn't handle the pass. Davis from Garibaldi, and he'll drive himself, throws it up wildly, and gets to the ball.
Unbelievable. He goes up with his weak hand. That's the type of quickness that he has. He can get into the lane at will.
Offering on the near side. Finds, it's a 3-point game, and that one's thrown away. The old, I think Reno was looking for Ryan. Ryan zigged. Reno was expecting him to zag, and it's a turnover with a 3-point game, one possession basketball game with 2:44 to play. Again, New England Storm was down 10. They led at the half. They led for just the last 7 seconds of the half, 26-25. There were 5 lead changes at the start of this half, 1 point going back and forth for a while. Mass Premier led by as many as 8. They're going to get a foul, as going up hard there was Tim Galloway-Burke. Coach Vaughn saying, you know, give him a step. If you give him a step, you go up. you're blocking that shot, you're not getting called for a foul.
They're guarding him a little bit too closely on that low block, but New England Storm, finally they start to pick up full court defense, and they're going inside on their half court offense. So I think those are the two keys for them in this last 2 minutes and 30 seconds. They want to win this game. They got to stay up. They've got to pressure, force turnovers up from Mass Premier League.
It's a 1-point game, 10 for Galloway Burke, as he made both his free throws, and Davis is going to get called for the foul on that far sideline. His second, team's 6th, so not quite yet in the bonus on either team, but they both are at 6 team fouls as we head down the stretch. Tough pass, a bad decision there by Nigro. Went high risk for offering, and a chance for New England Storm to take the lead. Again, they led this one for only 7 seconds of the first half, spotted the Mass Premier League a 10-point lead on a couple of different occasions here today. Garibaldi, off-angle three-pointer.
He got hit on the way down, I think.
Yeah, I think he was trying maybe to draw a foul, didn't get the call. Nigro loops it ahead, offering, had Bolter, dishes out to Reno, drives in, has it stripped. Here comes Garibaldi, has Daly with him, and now we'll slow it up and run the half-court offense with 1:45 to play, trailing by 1. Grade 10 championship comes down to this, folks, with 100 seconds left. It's still anyone's game. Davis, the dish. Outside jumper, rebound underneath Ryan as Marinder's jumper was off its mark from 15. Dylan Reno has had the basketball. He dishes. Timeout. Mass Premier Elite. They'll talk it over. We'll step aside with 85 seconds to play here. The Grade 10 Championship, AAU Super Regional. 1:25 to play, 49-48. Mass Premier Elite will try and take care of the basketball. Here comes Dylan Reno. Davis all over him, dishes to Nigro. Garibaldi on the defense, comes back over, offering for 3, and back rims out, and Marinder has the ball.
Now, I don't know if we mentioned it in this game, there is no shot clock. So if you're ahead with a minute to go and you have the basketball, you can hold the ball for the entire possession.
Well, I'll tell you,
that's why this.
Well, I think they got the timeout before Reno went down. Had they not gotten that timeout from the bench, he was likely going for a travel. Continue with the.
Well, that changes things dramatically. So on that last possession, there was 1 minute left. Mass Premier Elite had the basketball, and they chose to shoot the ball when they're up by 1 with about 62 seconds on the clock. If they don't shoot it, and the clock continues to wind down, it forces New England Storm to come out and guard you and come out and foul you. And I don't know how many team fouls New England Storm has, but my sense is,
6.
Next one.
Yeah.
The next one will be a 1-on-1. So I think what we're going to see here defensively from New England Storm, they're going to come out, they're going to face guard, they're going to try to get the steal off the first pass. If they don't get the steal, you're going to see them foul Mass Premier Elite, put him to the free throw line, and hopefully recover possession of the basketball while it's still a 1-possession game.
Well, you go back, 50, 60 years in basketball, certainly before you and I were around, but you talk about like Norman Dale and Hoosiers would have a field day with a minute left, leading by 1 and no shot clock. I mean, that was the entire game for a great deal of, up until really the 60s at the high school level, 60s or 70s. Heck, I think the women's game didn't have, I was talking to somebody who played high school basketball in the late 70s and for the girls, and they were only allowed to dribble it 3 times before they had to pass it.
Yeah, I think that's when they had a rover and
lots of
certain
crazy
players
rules.
couldn't cross half court.
A foul off the basketball on Nigro is going to send him to the free throw line as Davis picks up the call with 33.9 seconds left. But again, I think that's what Coach Vaughn took them off the court to tell them was, let's just play keep away here and let's pass it around. A lot of pressure here on Nigro. He missed his first 2 free throws, has 4 points in the game. Shooting the one-on-one, misses the first. Marinder the rebound. Daly, Marinder, Galloway, Burke, Davis, and Garibaldi for the Storm.
I think you spread it out right now for Davis. Spread the court.
And Coach Garibaldi, he wants timeout with 19.7 seconds left. It's a 1-point game. You're getting a chance to see if he is going to do what you would have presumed.
Well, here's my second shot at it. Now that he's got a whiteboard in front of him, I think he puts the sun in the corner. You get Davis with the basketball up top. You have your best post player set the high screen. You flatten everybody else on the baseline, and you make sure the shooter's in the corner where your point guard's going to go. So Davis, I don't know if he prefers going right or left. He's a right-handed player. I'd have him coming off the high screen, going to his right. If he gets into the lane and he gets to the rim, he's got a layup. If the defense dumps down on him, he can kick it to Garibaldi, who's made a couple threes in this game. Or if the defense stays with the shooter and they switch that, high screen, then he's going to have his post player roll into the basket. Gives him 3 good options in one play.
Now here's the challenge in all of that, and I think terrific breakdown, but I think the challenge in all of that is this is AAU basketball, and the challenge therefore with AAU players is they have not practiced this in all likelihood. I mean, let's face it, they haven't practiced it together.
No, you're right. No, I've had some huddles where I've said, Mike, I want you in the left corner, and kids will come out and go to the right wing. So that all could happen as well coming out of this huddle, but I mean, I think a high screen point guard with a shooter in the corner, I think 15-year-old boys should be able to handle it.
Pretty standard play. I think the challenge, it's not that they don't know where to go on the court. I think the challenge is that they haven't executed this as a group in practice.
Hard to do. You're right.
So they are going to put Garibaldi on the near wing with Daly on the far corner. Davis is going to drive out to the far side. He's being watched by Reno, and another timeout. And
Dad's mad.
Dad was not happy. Who the ball is going to, for one, and I think, secondly, I think if you're, on the other hand, Coach Vaughn is telling his team, you absolutely cannot foul Davis. The quick inbounds comes to Marinder, and he puts it home. Nigro threw it up from half court. There was no need for that. There's 4 seconds left.
I don't know if that got caught on film, but we have a little early celebration by the New England Storm, and
what a shot.
It was supposed to be a chest bump, but the chest didn't meet, and Garibaldi went flying onto his back. There's nothing like giving someone a chest bump who doesn't know that's what you're actually trying to do and just kind of walks away.
Well, they fooled everybody with that one. Marinder, the jump shot over the defense, gives the New England Storm a 1-point lead with 4.2 seconds left. And now for Coach Vaughn, the game of chess continues.
I think they got to send someone long. It depends on, I don't know how many timeouts he has left. But if he comes out here and he sees that New England Storm is set up in a defense that he expects, then he's going to run, this offensive set that he's showing. If New England Storm does something different, he should just call another timeout, set something else up. But I saw this work quite a few times in the men's NCAA tournament. You put a kid on one of the blocks, they set an up screen for the player at the free throw line, and then they release long.
6 seconds is put back, 1.8 seconds put back on the clock after the shot, so there's 6 seconds left. And they're going to inbound to Reno. Reno gets across court, 4 seconds left, over to the corner. Bolter for 3, in and out, and the New England Storm have won the Grade 10 championship. They led this one for only 7 seconds of the first half, and about, I would say, total 4.5 minutes of the entire game. And they're going to come away with a 50-49 victory here in this Super Regional. And boy, Connor Marinder banged around a good chunk of this game, had a very tough assignment underneath, and comes up with a shot of a season.
He really did, and that was a tough out-of-bounds play. And again, you said it was unexpected. Everyone thought the ball was going to go back to Davis. He took the ball out of bounds. I thought they'd set a down screen for him. He would come off of it. But Marinder, with that little shot from the short corner, very tough shot to make, he put his team up by 1, and it was really hard at that point. 15-year-olds with 6 seconds left to play. They had to get the ball up the court. I think they should have gone to the rim rather than, you know, take a three-point shot. But that's all part of this learning process, playing AAU basketball.
It ends up a 1-point victory for the New England Storm, who again, they led this game for